Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, a member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself a podcast you want to listen to. And don't forget to visit our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, as well as Tape Armor. I'm Rob.
I'm Devon.
And how's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I know, it feels like forever. I've been like, all right, message drop and a message drop and a message drop. I know you were busy as fuck, and I was busy as fuck. It's like, if you guys don't know, I say this a lot, but it's funny that me and Rob, like I can say now 99% of our conversations are recorded for you guys. So it's like a lot of stuff that we get out of the way on here. It's us having like normal conversation, catching up, updating each other too.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because this whole friendship between you and me started, when you came on our show just to, talk, be one of our guests, and, just kind of evolved to you coming in and being one of the co-hosts now. So, but dude, I'm in England right now and I'm fucking tired, dude. I'm fucking worn out. I know you've been worn out. I've seen you posting up your life books, and you attended something recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to YouTube Space LA, and it's in like what they call like the Silicon Beach or whatever. It's like down south version of Silicon Valley, and it's just a big space where like you can go edit. Like there's a room where they have 50 Macs lined up. They all have Adobe Premiere or whatever editing software you want. They have a movie theater in there. They have a music studio. They have like miniature film sets. They have like literally anything you could think of. So they had an event there for some guy that had 1 million subscribers, and I was invited, and it was sick. They had like free food, free beer, free coffee, free like everything. They gave me a shout out to Stuart Hardy. He's one of the social media managers for the company that put it on. He gave me a sick pair of boxing gloves from Hypnotic. So shout out to them because I got some free stuff.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, what are you doing in England?
Oh, man. Well, the Army's decided to send me to a training class out here, so I'm taking full advantage of it, and I'm out here for 2 weeks. Chelsea isn't with me, so that kind of sucks, but they have a jiu-jitsu club on base, and I was looking forward to it because I like meeting new people through jiu-jitsu. I like rolling with people in jiu-jitsu, because it's just, it's fun to, meet new people, and that's like the best thing ever. And, AJ, I think his name, or God, I'm so sorry. The guy who like runs the club, he was like, yeah, it's just like white belts and stuff. And this is why I talked to him a couple months ago, because I knew I was coming out here. So I show up today, and I'm like, I throw my purple belt on. It's all white belts. I'm like, if they ask me to teach, that's cool. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit back and let them do their thing, because I'm not gonna be that dude like, bow down to the fucking purple belt. And so this dude Dan comes in, and he's a fucking Hoist Gracie black belt, and I was like, oh yes, man, like I fucking needed that real bad. And he just fucking put it on me, and he knows a lot of the guys I first started training under, like my old coach Brian and Billy, guys who were on the show before, and he knew them, and he was like, holy shit, you came from them. And we talked and kind of figured out who we knew, so it was really cool to get beat up by a black belt today.
That's hell sick, actually. It's always, it's like the best and worst feeling at the same time, right? Like you walk in, you're like, all right, I'll get some cool training in, I'll practice some stuff, and then all of a sudden you see just some fucking beast on the mat, and you're like, God damn it, it's gonna be a hard training session right now.
Well, we did a lot of drilling today. Class was a little over an hour, and what was nice was I just not really turned my brain off, but it was nice to just learn, and I don't care. Nobody knows it all, especially me, I'm purple. I definitely do not have the skill set of a black belt, whatsoever. But the fact that I could get in there and just be a student today, I fucking miss that feeling so much. It's such a good feeling to just have somebody be like, no, do this, tweak it a little bit. It's fucking great, man. I missed it so much. So that's why I probably came back just worn out, just drenched. I mean, it was, it's cold out here, so I stepped out of the gym and I gave off that Super Saiyan thing where you're just steaming. Oh man, it felt fucking great.
I forget that because I haven't talked consistently in a while, but it's true. You start taking it for granted. I don't think about nobody when I go train. I'm thinking about myself. If that, I'm kind of just moving. My body feels good going by myself. But when you're a coach, you're worry about all that shit, looking at the new guy, trying to figure out, is he doing that right, blah, 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 whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even like when I roll with my guys, you know, I still have like one eye on the other groups. You know, I can, once I get like a monster on the mat, you know, I reasonably can like keep them at bay enough that I can look over and, you know, take a look and see what my guys are doing to make sure they're not ripping each other's heads off or injuring anybody or anything like that. So it's, you know, being a coach is really fucking rough, man. Like, and I know that, you know, just helping people out too. Like, you know, you take time out of your training. Sometimes you got to be selfish, but if you're taking time out of your training, it fucking, you know, your mind isn't on you 100%. And sometimes it fucks up your technique and it fucks up your training.
And where I train, my buddy, whenever someone new comes in, if you're like obviously one of the higher ranks, if some guy's his first week or first couple of days, usually he'll match those guys up with one of the more experienced guys.
Yeah.
Only just because it makes it a little bit easier on him. But just me drilling with some like new guy for like, you know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. I'm like, shit, like this is like, it's not babysitting because they're a grown person, but like they want to ask you questions and you want to answer their questions. But I'm like, man, to do this for 20, 15, 30 people, whatever, it was just, it'd be too much for me.
Well, I mean, I feel like an advantage that I have is that, you know, I taught Taekwondo for so long. I'm pretty good at multitasking with what students are doing, but something I want to avoid. Now, I don't, you know, discounting that, it's a little different having somebody work with them, right? Something I tried to promise myself that I would never do is straight up just give a group of people to like a blue belt and say, you teach them something. Unless they like straight up volunteer, like, hey, can I show them this? Like, yeah, dude, like fucking show them what you know. But like, you know, I remember, I guess we're throwing back to Taekwondo days again. I remember this one instructor, I was training for my second degree black belt, and this dude would just straight up like, all right, good, you're here at class. This is the black belt class. I need you to work with, you know, these black belts to make sure they know the form. Just watch them and see they're making, you know, like, motherfucker, I want to train. Yeah. Like, I need to know my kata to make sure I'm good. But you're just kind of like, what the fuck am I paying for, you know?
Exactly. Like, you're going to pay to teach someone else and only train a little bit yourself at the end.
Fucking drove me up the wall, man. I was just, and that's the thing too. Like, are there schools out there that do that in jiu-jitsu? I don't know. I haven't experienced any.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I see that sometimes. Well, you know, the thing is too, there's a gray area. There's that gray area where you're transitioning from one of the new guys into either the, you know, intermediate guys or experienced guys. And like, there's some people that like enjoy doing that for a little while because they're just like, you know, they're one of the knowledgeable people. They like having that like kind of like feeling. And it feels good to teach someone something, honestly, you know what I mean? But I see it happen at schools all the time when I go, actually.
Yeah, just like, hey man, you know, you're free help. Why don't you come over here and help you? You know, you help teach, and maybe, you know, you get a stripe on that belt, and you ass, you know. I mean, like, I think that's a little different than like something I like to see as well is when, you know, like you tap somebody out. Why don't you tell them what you did? Like, how'd you beat them, instead of just be like, keep your fucking neck down, you know, keep your chin down, bro, or some bullshit like that, you know.
I hate that shit too, dude. There's one guy where like, and he I don't train with him as much anymore because he went to another gym, but I was tapping him like I arm locked him like with basically the same arm lock each time, and he was like, the last time I just let go of it and we started over, and I was like, dude, you're doing, like, I was trying to like start to explain to him basically what he was doing wrong, and he was like, oh no, dude, you got to tap me, that's how I'm gonna learn. I'm like, no, like, you're getting tapped because you never learned. Like, it's not like if someone gets you in an arm lock, no shit, you're gonna get tapped. It's how did I get you in that arm lock? What the things you fucked up earlier doing? And some people don't get that shit.
Yeah, it's weird because like today in class when I was rolling with Dan the black belt, he had something, and he, like, while we were rolling, he had complete control over me, and he goes, you might want to clear that. You might want to get rid of that. And I'm like, oh yeah. You know, I'm just like chilling or whatnot, but oh man, I don't know, man. That post I put up of Borat dancing, it was like, you know, this is how I felt today after, you know, getting my ass beat by a black belt. Like, that is so, I was just like, I'm fucking tired, but I'm so goddamn happy over it.
it's like stimulating. It's one of those things where it's like mentally stimulating on the side you don't normally get. It's easy to be stimulated when you're beating people up and like you're able to like work things or whatever. But that stimulation where like getting beat up and you're like, I don't know, your instincts have to react and like you're having to like be like think of new like I don't know solutions. That's like the best feeling in the world.
It's great, and it's also good to be able to be like, oh, you know Brian, because it still like ties it back home to me. So very, it was very cool. So how's for you? How's training going? Have you been in the gym lately, or you just kind of focus on the YouTube stuff right now?
No, I've still been in the gym, but it's not like it's like 7 days a week. It's like 2 days, 3 days a week. But I'm slowly easing back into it. If I jump into it 7 days from now, honestly, I kind of feel like I'll get hurt because I'm not in good shape. Well, I'm in good shape. I'm not in the shape I want to be in, I should say. But my friend, he just put wall mats up at the gym, so I'm ready to go in there and fucking become a UFC champion. I'm fucking pumped to use those wall mats. Like, fuck jiu-jitsu. I just want to put on the gi and take dudes down off the wall.
Hell yeah. I mean, he put them up there for a reason, right? It wasn't so people are accidentally roll into a wall. It's so you can pin them up against it and take them down. Do you think that's dirty, or like what's your opinion on that?
I think if a new guy came to the gym, I wouldn't be using the wall to do some like funny stuff. But like at the gym, like if you guys are listening to this from Turlock guys, I'm gonna use that wall to try and fuck everybody up. Like I'm gonna create a new guard off the wall. Like I'm gonna do something weird.
Well, so there was an incident. The name will be withheld, but pretty much I saw this person pin my friend to the wall, right? And try to get a submission on them because they were kind of salty that my friend tapped them out before. Like that's kind of bullshit, especially if you're a guest. But like if you're the guy at the gym and you're like, I'm just gonna start beating people up off the wall, I think that's a little different,
Yeah. We a lot of the handful of guys in the gym are really, really close just because we've known each other. Like my buddy Alex, he's my coach. I've known him since I was 14. I've known him before I've done jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And so like I'm like one of the smaller guys. I don't walk around 160, 165 pounds. So there's some guys like I'll be in their closed guard sometimes and like I just can't open the guard. So we do like stupid stuff to each other, kind of like that anyway. Like if someone can't open my guard or if I can't open their guard, we'll stand up in their guard, pretend like we're throwing like ground and pounding them just to be stupid. Like stupid, you know what I mean? Like we're not really punching them, but we'll do stupid things like that to kind of like get them annoyed or whatever.
Well, yeah, God forbid you guys have fun at the fucking jiu-jitsu gym. Like you guys do jiu-jitsu to just hate life and shit. Like
there's some people that sound like it, dude.
Yeah, like fucking this whole Matt Savage thing. Like chill the fuck out, man. Like we can just train and be good, but not act like you're gonna fucking die if you lose.
Yeah, dude, like I remember like even now, like you see in the NBA a lot of those, like I don't really watch basketball, but like I'll follow certain people like from back in the day still, and like Michael Jordan talk about how back in the day like all those guys like Charles Barkley and stuff like that, like they're like best friends, but they'll go play against each other, and sometimes they just be like talking like terrible shit to each other, just like fuck you, fuck you, I'm gonna get you back, blah 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 blah. And that's kind of like how some of me and my friends are at the gym. Like we'll just stuff will happen. I'll catch one of them, or they'll catch me, and they'll be like, I got you, huh? Like I'm not gonna roll with you next round, so you can get it back. Like stupid stuff like that, but we're still friends after.
That's fucking dirty, dude. It's like, oh man, if you play video game online, you play some fighting game, and the guy beats you and runs off. It's the same shit. Oh my god, it's fucking infuriating.
That's what I did the other night. my friend Alex whoops my ass like hella bad at the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
And he's a beast, and I went to his house after, and we played this like stupid old school game called Hamster Ball, and it's like basically a racing game with these little hamsters and like a little ball. I beat him and my brother, I'm not joking, 16 times, and I told him I'd give him a rematch, and I finally did. And then like, you know what I mean, like I was about to, and we were going, and I was like, nah, fuck that, I gotta go home. And I left at like 11:30 at night.
Dick move, man. I fucking love it still. Like it's like kind of like just a shitty thing. Like I love playing video games online, and unfortunately, I don't know what it is with PlayStation, but there's not a lot of people talking on PlayStation. I used to have like an 85% negative rating on Xbox Live just for all the shit I would talk. Like Chelsea, if you ask Chelsea, if you say like, what is Rob's favorite thing to do online? That she'd be like, well, it's probably talk shit to 12-year-olds because like, she'd around the corner. My favorite thing would be like, hey, how old are you? You know, they'd be, oh, I'm 13, motherfucker. I'm like, your parents are divorced, aren't they? They're like, no. I'm like, well, they probably bought you this game. You know, it's like a mature game. They probably bought you this game to distract you from the fact that they're getting divorced. And you know what? It's probably your fault. I just like say that, like, you know, just trying to like hit all these little buttons, like you gotta call somebody a bitch. Like, oh, talk shit. You gotta like try to hit that fucking like weak point on somebody, but that's terrible. I do that to 12-year-old kids online because, hey man, it's a game for 17 and up. You're not supposed to be there.
I love going to areas like that where like political correctness does not exist on Xbox Live.
No.
I feel like all those people moved to YouTube comments. Like, I feel like that's where they went.
Kidding. God damn. Like, you know, we curse real bad on this show, and that's cool, but like kids on Xbox Live dropping N-bombs with a hard ER on the end of it.
Hard R for real.
Dude, if somebody said that shit in real life, like a 12-year-old, I don't give a fuck how old you are. Like, you're getting your ass beat. Somebody's beating you.
Oh, dude, seriously. Maybe multiple people, something would happen. Like, some of the stuff that they said on there is so, like you almost think, like, do these kids just sit there and think for, like, minutes at a time of the most savage shit that they could possibly say?
No, well, I mean, like, I see something on, like, kind of YouTube, like, some of the bigger names is just people fucking with people on video games or finding, like, you know, like, video games are an outlet for people who don't, maybe not have a lot of friends or socially awkward, and that's cool, man, you know. I'm not exactly the most socially adept person out there, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to be dropping N-bombs fucking out in public and shit. And
that's true.
Yeah, so, you know, they just find these kids on cyberbullying. I don't think it's cyberbullying. I think it's more just like they try to find the, you know, like the quote-unquote the cringiest kid, like, oh, the cringiest Call of Duty player, and they just fucking zone in on him. So all these kids are just trying to fucking find somebody to make cry on Xbox or something.
I miss Xbox, man. I need to get a game system. I play the UFC ones. Have you played that, dude?
Yeah, I have.
It's hella fun, one, actually.
Right? Yeah. I have a PlayStation. Well, not
it's
the
complicated
new,
as
not
fuck,
the new
but
one, like the newer one, like UFC, EA UFC 2.
Something like that. Yeah. They're fun, dude. It's actually pretty fun.
I need to get back into it. Like, I've been playing a lot of Destiny or y'all play like a game of Call of Duty, hate that. Turn on Overwatch, play a game of Overwatch, hate that. Play a little bit of Destiny, kill some shit, feel all right, but then like, I don't know, man. I probably need to jump back on EA UFC and learn it, since it seems, from what I've seen, it seems like it's still popular. People are still playing it.
It's I'm gonna let you know the newer one if you decide to get that one, dude. It's pretty in depth. Like, there's actually like combos for like submissions and things like that, and balancing the joysticks and whatnot. It's great. It's pretty cool concept actually. But the one before that I think is my favorite because it's straight to the point and you just go head to head, and it's like, you know what I mean. That's my favorite thing. I just want to brawl in that game.
I remember my friend Brian, not Mingy, my other friend Brian, the guy I started training with. He, when I came home from deployment or something, like I was home on leave or whatever, he had the original UFC. No, it was after that because it was on PlayStation 4. And he was like, I won the belt doing nothing but left body shots, so liver shots. So like his entire career was just like, he's like, watch, it's real easy. You know, it takes forever to knock somebody out with a headshot. Watch this. He like fights John Jones and just like keeps stepping in, like liver shotting him until he drops. You know, the ref calls it. His entire career was liver shots, and like that's some of the funny shit on video games. But I get what you're saying. Like, it's just, oh man, I do need to play it. I really do.
Did you watch that Tito Ortiz fight Chael Sonnen fight?
I did. I really did. And
dude, not to jump off subject, but go ahead and say you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. A little maybe.
So watching the fight, like, we all know Chael Sonnen he's a very good wrestler. I don't think his jiu-jitsu is that good. And somebody's like, how can he tap to that? And I thought about it, and I thought back to this one time somebody got me in a rear naked choke. It was on my jaw, and they twisted my head far enough that it just cut off everything because it just was like, it was like trying to rip somebody's head off. I'm like, fuck this, you can have it, I don't care. Like, maybe that was it, but other than that, like
maybe he got neck cranked so far to the side like that it was just hell pressure. Because I know Rashad Evans said Tito Ortiz is hell strong.
Yeah. I mean, look at his head.
Yeah, hey, seriously, dude.
Like, I know that's a weird way to look at it, but the dude's like,
no, it's true.
He's grown abnormally or whatever, so he's got fucking freak strength. He's not some pushover guy at all.
No, not at all. Rashad said that when he fought Tito, he was after the first round, he went back to his corner and was hella pissed because he was like, why did you guys tell me this guy's going to be that strong? He's like a gorilla. He said that he would be in certain positions, and he said that Tito's pressure was so ridiculous that he just felt heavy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons he was such a great champion for a while. I just remember him picking who was it he picked up, slammed on his back, and knocked him out just from the slam.
Oh, dude. He took him down straight into side control.
Yeah,
and knocked him out.
And he was fucking tight when he took him down. It wasn't just he tripped him and fell on top of him. He had him he was latched on, crushing him, and just took him down. That was one of the more painful takedowns I've seen. I'm trying to remember.
Fuck, dude, that guy back then was a beast. I am trying to remember who that was too. I don't know what I think about that Chael fight, dude. Because the conspiracy theorist in me says, man, Chael threw that fight. That seems like something he would do. And the other part of me says, maybe that dude's just strong as shit. Back in the day, I've been neck cranked before by people somebody that just grabbed it and twisted hella hard.
Yeah.
And it didn't even look like I should have tapped. I know it probably looked like whatever,
It's weird because Chael was not a shitty fighter at all. He was actually pretty good. He took Anderson Silva. He took him through 5 rounds, and it was just at the end he lost. But I don't know. Part of me says it was so sketchy looking that it's possible. But another part of me says what would he gain if he threw a fight for Tito Ortiz of all people? Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine it either. I can't imagine Tito saying, I'm going to give you $100,000 on the back end behind everyone's, back and just say you throw this fight. I don't know.
And I mean, it's not unheard of people throwing fights. I know Rampage was talking about in Pride that there was definitely some fight fixing going on for certain fights. But that's Rampage. This is the guy who went crazy and ran over somebody in his truck. Was it pregnant?
True. Holy, that's right. It was something crazy. It was right when he lost the belt to Forrest.
Everybody forgets about that. Everybody remembers John Jones T-boning a pregnant woman and breaking her arm. But everybody, not a lot of people remember Rampage running somebody. What was it, some Monster Energy truck he had? He just got fucking stopped by the LAPD or some shit, and they arrested him. No
guy went crazy. He lost to Forrest. He got crazy, and then everyone's fuck it, it's Rampage.
It might have been some real old monster recipe that just fucked with him and his supplements real bad, so he just fucking lost his mind and just drove around hitting people and wouldn't stop for the police.
Rampage was probably they were I'll never drink that Zion shit again.
Is it?
Do you remember Zion back in the day, dude? I don't know. Not now, fucking Rampage.
No, not after Rampage man, fucked shit. It up for everybody.
I know, for real.
Dude, we were all I was just thinking we're all over the place because I was just about to bring up the Kenny Florian trying to drink the closed Zion's can after he won his fight.
I didn't see that.
You never saw that?
Oh, no. I thought you were going to say recently, he found an old Zion's can surgery. No, I do remember that.
Props on him for, remembering his sponsors and stuff, but I just remember some point I was like, dude, that can's not open. What do you mean? He's fake drinking out of the Zion's can. I don't know if I'd drink Zion's right after a fight either. I'd probably cramp up real bad or throw it up.
Seriously. Exactly. I probably had that acid reflux for the rest of the night.
But yeah, I would just go out and pound a couple beers in after a win. I don't know what the difference is.
I miss the old post-fight interviews like that with all the cool products, dude. Everyone's sponsors. Rashad had this one time where he had a regular water bottle and there was some big huge cap on the top, and it was a normal an Aquafina or something like that, right? But the thing on top was there, and he just twisted it, and all the protein or whatever that was in there just shot in there, and then he shook it up and started drinking it. I was like, that's the greatest invention in the world. I don't know what it was, but that could be used for anything.
That is fucking... I've never seen that. That's fucking cool.
Dude, I miss the old post fights like that, like crazy, like where they would show all their sponsors, and I don't miss the old T-shirts, but you know what I mean.
I do. Like it was awesome to see like some of these old like I still love Condom Depot, Dynamic Fast.
Oh,
those are two
yeah.
places that would sponsor me. I'd be the happiest dude on the face of the earth.
My favorite T-shirts are always BJ Penn's. I didn't like the tap out shirts. I mean, back in the day, I did like the tap out shirts. I shouldn't say I didn't like them. I liked them then. I just don't like them now because they're old. But like, yeah. I miss BJ Penn's old shirts because he always had like his like website on there, and he's like bjpenn.com. That's all he was about was his website, and I was like, this guy's a beast.
That's self promotion, man. You can't hate that. Do you remember the tap out water bottles that were shaped like whiskey flasks?
Fuck, I don't, but now I'm thinking back to everything Tabo. Maybe I will later on.
It's like I do. Maybe I'm remembering stuff wrong, but I think it was on the TV show because I used to watch Tap Out TV show. Okay,
no, I did too. Dude, there's a lot of people that came up on that.
Yeah, like Uriah Faber was on it, wasn't he?
Uriah Faber, I think, was on it. Anthony Pettis was on it, wasn't he?
Maybe.
Or no, was that another show? Cowboy was for sure on it.
Yeah, he was. I just remember the Tap Out show was really good. The concept was good. It was kind of, I understand it was their brand and everything, but it is kind of weird to see like the skyscraping punk ass. Like they've done a lot for MMA. Don't get me wrong. Like, Mask did, but it was kind of weird. Like, I'm going to come in the gym. I'm dressed like a fucking ass clown. But, but it was a fucking gimmick. So I guess, it worked out for them. They're fucking rolling it, man. So obviously it worked.
Dude, for real. That guy Mask died, though. He passed away.
It was
That's
a car
crazy.
crash, wasn't it? Crashes Lamborghini. So, I mean,
oh my God.
Like, rest in peace, man. But that was obvious he was fucking, killing it with what they were
Those guys did it big at the end because they got into, like big commercial stores like Walmart or something like that.
Like, man. Like, you could find their shit everywhere. I remember, what was it? My first duty station was Fort Hood, and they're like, dude, you can wear adult clothes. And I'm like, oh, I completely forgot. I can dress like a normal human being again. And was going just shopping for some regular clothes. I'm like, holy fuck, there's Tap Out in Walmart. What the fuck?
Dude, like, that's so crazy. Those guys basically, like, are they started like every other like round wants to be, or they start like jiu-jitsu tournaments, little fights, and then all of a sudden they're in Walmart. That's crazy.
But they did everything right, and they actually helped out a lot of people along the way, so can't really hate on them. What I was going to think of too was have you seen was it Looking for a Fight, that UFC one that they're doing with Matt Serra?
Yeah.
The first episode was good. Like, did they put out a second episode yet, or what's the deal?
Dude, I think they have like 3 or 4 now.
Really?
I actually enjoy them. Matt Serra's entertaining to me.
He's fucking hilarious. And I'm glad that they're giving him. I know it's been a while since he's really been, I don't know, like a focus aside from Anderson Silva breaking his leg and he said, "Good, fuck him."
Yeah.
Fucking Matt Serra doesn't give a shit. But
no, dude, he's No, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was going to say, like, I'm just really glad that he's, like, on again because he was a really entertaining, cool dude. And him being on the show is definitely... Because that's where they got Mickey Gall from. The first episode was he was the one who called out CM Punk.
Matt Serra is... I forget that guy's such a beast, and I found out a lot of stuff about him in the last few weeks because I just started looking him up randomly. That guy's fought like all the legends in jiu-jitsu back in the day. Like, I knew he was a good black belt, but I think he's Henzo's first American black belt, I think, and I could be wrong. Someone could fact check for me after this if they want to. But dude, that guy fought like Ted Ade. I think he's fought a lot of people, dude. I think he fought Jacare, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's fought a lot of people in jiu-jitsu back in the day. He's like, and then he beat George St. Pierre. Like, that guy's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And like I said, he's a fucking good guy on top of that. So you can't fucking hate a guy like that. And now, like, it's still shit. How long ago was that he beat George St. Pierre?
Probably like It had to have been 10 years ago now.
Easily. Holy fuck. I want to say it was like 2005, 2006 maybe.
Yeah, it was close to there. It had to have been around there.
Jeez.
Seriously.
And he's still around, and he's on doing UFC shit. So I'm fucking ecstatic he's still on it. It's just some people can't make that transition. I mean, I understand that completely, but man, I do feel bad. It's kind of like watching football players. They get done and then they just have nothing else to do. But I don't think it's really as bad as like some of the football players where they're like, oh, I filed for bankruptcy. Like they still can teach. They still got a following. So I don't know.
I like how some of the guys, like Chad Mendes, he has this company where he goes, like he likes hunting, right? I don't know anything about hunting, but he goes hunting, and what he does is he does these like tours where they just go on road trips and they go hunting in different places, but he does them with celebrities. So you basically pay to go hunt with Chad Mendes and some celebrity who likes hunting. And I'm like, man, that's a great idea. Like, he makes a bunch of money doing it, like a shit ton. I think that's hella cool. The guys, they find they pretty much know they have an identity outside of just fighting. They're just like, they just love to fight.
Yeah.
And they still understand that you do other stuff, No,
it is good. And, a lot of people get tied up, and I think being one-dimensional doesn't help you like at all. I mean, granted, I'm not an expert on, marketing yourself or anything like that. It's just, one-dimensional never works, and one-dimensional kind of limits you, especially like, if you want to take that next step, see where you're going, or like, you got to eat at some point. People have to eat and live somewhere. So, you got to look out for yourself.
And then even like, just like the different aspects of life too, like you wouldn't be as far along in jiu-jitsu as like you would be if you didn't do the stuff like, I don't know, your taekwondo before and different things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just whatever. Like, jiu-jitsu helps them work. It all ties together. I think being well-rounded in life is just something you got to do for the sake of it, for improvement,
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, that also goes back to, did you see the list of like the top 10 people getting paid in jiu-jitsu to compete or something like that?
No, I did not.
I think like number one made like, I think it was somewhere in the ballpark of 50,000 in a year.
Oh.
That's it.
Huh.
That hurts.
That does hurt, dude.
So I'm sorry, everybody, that right now nobody's gonna get paid to do jiu-jitsu unless you're fucking Buchecha or something like that.
Dude, that's man, like, because those guys train more than, all the stuff that more than 40 hours a week goes into jiu-jitsu, whether it's physical or not physical. More than 40 hours a week goes into it. These guys are getting paid $4 an hour or something like that. I don't know.
Or you can just, if you get asked to be on a podcast, try to charge them $500. I'm not telling you who that person was. You know who that person was, but
I know who that person is. Funny story. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something about that after we get off.
Okay. Yeah, we had a guest try to charge us $500 to come on our podcast. So I'm sorry. The Big Jiu-Jitsu Show does not fucking roll in cash.
I know. Come on now, like.
But everybody who has been on the show has been fucking outstanding. I fucking love everybody, so can't complain there.
Dude, we actually have some really, really cool people, and like I kind of blasphemy. I listened to, I'm not going to say which podcast it was because I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember the name. I listened to about a minute of it and I just turned that shit off. There was another like grappling podcast. I want to see what these guys do. I want to see how they are compared to like Rob and I. No, they were shit.
So before we finish up our episode that we've, been all over the place on, man, we fucking had zero focus today, but I think we said, and then not to steal Jiu-Jitsu After Dark's subject, but Brett Rogers touched a dude. Did you see that?
Really? No.
He got arrested for like sexually assaulting dudes in a library.
What?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Real quick. So pretty much Brett Rogers has been like, I don't know, hanging out in the library. Like he cornered some dude in an elevator at the library, like grabbed his ass or something, and like I don't know what else. Like I don't remember off the top of my head because I was just kind of like, that's crazy. We need to talk about this on the podcast at some point. But I think it was like 2 weeks old. Yeah, Brett Rogers fucking. Hold on, I'll just pull it up right now. Everybody's gonna hear some typing, but
Oh my god, that is the most random fighter you could have named. Doing the most random shit.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Hold on, because it has to be said. If you don't know, so I'm gonna be your news source for this. News.
Everyone in the MMA community is probably thinking, "What the fuck?" Except for Crazy Horse, he's just like, "What's the big deal? What's going on?"
Yeah, that's the dude that fucking. What was it? He put his girlfriend in a fucking trunk and like drove around with her. Right.
Yeah, he's done a lot of random shit.
God, that guy's probably not as bad as Mayhem, Jason Mayhem Miller.
Oh, true.
Fuck. That dude needs.
He went off the deep end.
Yeah, like he needs some help, and hopefully he gets it. I say that, but you gotta be a little more receptive to it.
This is very true.
Hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Oh, this is nuts. Because my laptop's kind of slow, so I apologize.
No worries.
The earliest incident is reported to have occurred in November when Rogers is said to have groped an employee at George Latimer Central Library in an elevator. The complaint said he removed Rogers' hand before the ex-mixed martial artist left the elevator without a response. And then the next paragraph. Rogers is then said to have asked a man whether he wanted to engage in sexual activity inside the stall of the St. Paul's Skyway bathroom on January 4th. The man said the 35-year-old grabbed his buttocks after his advances were rejected. And the ex-heavyweight fighter's former cellmate at Ramsey County Jail reported the third offense, saying he awoke to find Rogers fondling him while he was sleeping. Jesus.
Goddamn, Brett Rogers.
Oh my God. What would you do? You wake up and there's like a 6'5" Brett Rogers saying, "You're going to give this shit to me or I'm going to take it."
Oh my God. Dude, I'd fucking throw a straight kick right up the middle to the groin as hard as I could and hope that there was enough time for me to get away, dude. Seriously, that's all you can do.
I would probably also accompany it with the highest pitch scream I could probably, like squeeze out. Not even like a manly roar, just like this, like somebody kicked a small dog, high pitch level scream. Like that's what I try.
Just hope the Fader flies in and his fucking like underwear and a cape just knocks the shit out of it for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Man, all right, so for real now. Is there anything you want to add before we end on the note of Brett Rogers, would you?
Guys, follow me on everything. I am 70 Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and guys, we're gonna have some more consistent episodes out again. I'm sorry I was gone for so long. I was busy. Rob was busy. We're gonna get back into the swing of things.
We keep saying that, but you know what? Fuck it, work always comes up. So we do what we can. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being our fucking followers and listening to us. I know you guys are out there. I know you guys are listening. So you guys mean the world to us, and we really do appreciate it. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Remember the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another podcast you want to listen to. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, as well as Tape Armor. I'm Rob.
I'm Devon.
We'll see you guys next time.